All right, I'm gonna shoot you guys straight. This is one of the reasons why I hate the internet. I'm going on a little tangent here. Is when you look up information, you're gonna hear good stuff and excellent stuff about things, and you're gonna hear horrible things about whatever you're searching. Am I right or am I right?
Am I right or am I right? Or am I right?
You know, everyone has an opinion. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the factual information of the pros and cons here in Tulsa. This is not my personal opinion. All right, that was a lie. That was a lie.
Why are you lying to us?
This is my personal opinion about the pros and cons here in Tulsa. But hey, it's good to get information and for you to decide. My name is Steven. I am a realtor here in the greater Tulsa area, and the goal of this channel is to give you all the information you need to know about Oklahoma and Tulsa and the greater Tulsa area so you can make a decision if this is a good move for yourself, your partner, or your family. So I hope you enjoy all this content. If you have more questions about living here in Oklahoma or moving here in Oklahoma, reach out to me in the description below. I have all my contact information. I'd love to hear from you. I've moved several families here to Tulsa, actually over 60, so I kind of know what I'm doing. That's a fact. That is a bona fide fact. But let's get into the pros and cons. Let's do it. So let's start with the cons because everyone likes to talk about negative stuff first, and then if you make it past that, then we'll get to the pros. But the first one is the weather. Yes, we have 4 distinct seasons, so that's kind of nice, but really the fall and the spring are very short periods of time. They might be anywhere from a month to a couple of weeks. Most of our weather is dominated by our winter and our summer months. Now, this is once again my opinion. You can go and do the research yourself.
I want to make this clear.
But in the winter time, it gets fairly cold. I mean, we're 30 degrees or below freezing for most of the winter months. Now, we do have snow and ice, but when it does snow and ice, it melts fairly quickly. So when we do get snow, we might get like an inch or two there, and then it melts after a couple of days, which is kind of nice, but you know, whatever. The summer months, it gets very hot. Humidity makes it feel a little hotter, and you know, the weather or the temperature during the summer months are, you know, upper 90s to over 100. So it gets fairly hot here in Oklahoma. Now, the biggest question you have with weather is probably tornadoes. Does Oklahoma have tornadoes? Yes. The greater Tulsa area doesn't have as many tornadoes as Oklahoma City. And what I mean by tornadoes is actually the storm system that surrounds a tornado. Like the likelihood a tornado will come down. Now, will a tornado come down with the storm every single time? No. Will they hit the big metropolitan areas every single time a tornado warning happens? No. But it is a concern that you should take and do research on. I've lived here for a long time. I'm not really worried about tornadoes, but that's coming from someone that's lived here for over 20 years. So do your research. Call me if you want some more information about it. Once again, that's all my information is all down in the description below. Second con about Tulsa, if you are used to living in a big metropolitan area like New York, LA, Chicago, and you're used to having tons of public transportation, Tulsa's not that. Tulsa has pretty much zero public transportation. We do have a city bus system, but they only hit certain areas of Tulsa. So if you are looking to move here to Tulsa, then I would recommend getting a car because the public transportation is nearly limited and zero. So public transportation is a problem here in Tulsa. Get a car. I get a lot of questions about the crime rate here in Tulsa. So if you go off of the news and go off of, you know, TV shows like The First 48, you might have some concerns about the crime rate. Does Tulsa have crime? Absolutely. Pretty much like every other metropolitan area. But if you look at the crime statistics, it is kind of intimidating and scary. So I can't lie about stats, right? I mean, they're factual.
Correct.
I will say this about crime. We do have it, but it only happens in certain areas. For me, I've lived in Tulsa specifically for the last 11, 12 years, and I'm not really too worried about the crime as long as you are very proactive in the things. So having a security system, parking your car in the garage if you have a car, locking your car, locking your front door, just doing the things that basically everyone teaches you growing up. So if you do those things, crime shouldn't really affect you. Also, if you do your research about the areas you're planning on living in and looking at crime rates, then you can avoid those things. Once again, I've lived here for a long time. I take, proactive measures in, excluding crime for my daily life, and I just try to avoid it. So and this is what I tell people, if you want trouble, you can definitely find it here in Tulsa. If you don't want trouble, it's very easy to avoid it. If you are a nightlife animal and you love staying up late, going to bars and restaurants and, going to different clubs, Tulsa's probably not for you. Do we have some clubs and bars and restaurants? Yes, but they're not open in all hours of the night. Pretty much everything starts shutting down here in Tulsa around, midnight, 11 o'clock. So bars usually don't really last till last call. There are some nights and some days that does happen. But if you're looking for nightlife 7 days a week and being part of the party, probably not. That usually happens on Fridays and Saturday nights. Just not at the quantity as other cities like Dallas, LA, New York. But we do have those things if you enjoy them. Just we don't have them at the quantity. We have a very limited selection of them. Another con of Tulsa is the educational system. Tulsa public schools are not the best. I think they're rated one of the lowest public school ratings in Tulsa and probably in the nation. Maybe not the nation, but definitely in Oklahoma. So if you are looking to put your kids into Tulsa public schools, I would definitely look into that further of different websites and different rating systems, and maybe even think about possibly homeschooling or putting your kids in private school if you are in the TPS school districts. Once again, you do your research, but the Tulsa public schools are not rated very high and are kind of talked down upon if you are a local here in Tulsa. Once again, this is just my opinion, but definitely you do your research and figure out if that's going to be the best for your family to put your kids into Tulsa public schools. So if you made it through the con list and you're ready for the pros, then let's get into it. The first one is the affordability of cost of living. This is probably the biggest reason why people want to move here to Tulsa is the affordable cost of living. This ranges from housing, which we are well below the national average of buying a house. We're also below the national average of renting. We have low groceries, low gas prices, and low pretty much everything else. Now, when you look at the low cost of living, we're not really the lowest in any certain area, if that's housing, grocery, gas, tax rate, or anything like that. But when you combine that as an average and look at it as in a whole, we are probably one of the lowest cost of living areas in the United States. Definitely top 5, maybe possibly top 3. But once again, you guys do your research on that. So cost of living is very, very affordable here in Oklahoma, and a little bit more specifically Tulsa. Tulsa has a lot of cultural experiences and events that you can take advantage of here in Tulsa. So one event that happens every single year is the Tulsa Mayfest. It has a lot of great music, art, and things like that. Also, we have a lot of great museums with the Gilcrease Museum, the Philbrook Museum, which has a lot of great art of Oklahoma art, Native American art, and things that you can look at and basically experience. If you want to go to some really cool places and events, centers such as the Tulsa PAC, which is the Tulsa Performing Arts Center. We have the Tulsa Ballet, Tulsa Opera, Tulsa Broadway musicals. A lot of great events for you to go to if you like the singing and dancing vibe. Also, Tulsa has a lot of great live music. So if you wanted to go see live music through the Cain's Ballroom, the Tulsa Theater, the Hunt Club, Duet, a lot of great areas for you to listen to live music. Tulsa has a pretty good live music scene. Also, if you're a big drinker and like microbreweries, there are a ton of microbreweries here in Tulsa. This is what I tell people. If you like Austin and Nashville, Tulsa's like a little Austin, a little Nashville. So we do have those type of scenes for those, people that want those type of scenes. So a lot of great places to go and experience here in Tulsa. If you like outdoor activities, Tulsa is going to be great for you. We have tons of lakes. We have a ton of national parks for you to go out and to experience. There's a place called Woolaroc, and I have a short video about that right there. So if you want to click on that, you can look at what Woolaroc is all about. It's a nature preserve and also has a museum. We have tons of lakes. So if you want to, do fishing or boating activities, we have a lot of lakes to choose from, such as Keystone, Grand Lake, Oologah, Skytook Lake, and a lot more for you to go have a great time at. If you like parks, then Tulsa has a ton of city parks with splash pads, neighborhood pools, and some great tennis court and pickleball court action. So if you like doing those things. One of the parks I want to talk about real briefly is the Gathering Place. The Gathering Place is a great place for you and the family to go to. They have playgrounds, they have basketball courts, they have skate parks, a lot of fun things to do there at the Gathering Place. And then if you more of a mountain biker or nature walker or nature, trail running person, then you might want to check out Turkey Mountain. That is a little, I don't call it a mountain. I call it an oversized hill, but we do have that here in Tulsa. It's right off of basically 71st and the river. So it's a great place for you to go and, get a little bit of nature walk, mountain biking, or trail running action. I know I was hammering the education Tulsa public schools earlier, but I do want to talk about why the education system is actually pretty good here in the greater Tulsa area too.
Wait, I'm confused.
I know that kind of sounds, I was just dogging it. Now I'm going to talk good about it. But in the suburb cities like Owasso, Broken Arrow, Bixby, Jinx, they are all very highly rated public school systems here in Oklahoma. So if you don't want to put your kids in Tulsa public schools, maybe you look at living somewhere else where they have a little bit greater rating for the public schools. Also, we have tons of private schools that are very good to go to, such as Holland Hall, Cassia Hall, Metro Christian, Bishop Kelly, and a lot more to list, but we do have some great public school options for you. If you're thinking about homeschooling your kids, I have heard, because I have moved a lot of families that are planning on homeschooling their kids here in Oklahoma, that the criteria for homeschool isn't very demanding here in Oklahoma. So you have a lot more flexibility with your homeschooling education if you want to do that here in the state of Oklahoma. We also have tons of colleges like University of Tulsa, Oklahoma State University, Oklahoma University, NSU, Rogers State, a lot of great colleges, Tulsa Community College, a lot of great colleges for higher education. If you're looking more the technical school route, we have the Tulsa Welding School, Tulsa Tech, Clary Sage, and a lot more that can go on the list if you're looking more the technical school route. So Tulsa has a lot of opportunity for education and higher education that you can take advantage of. And this one is very underrated. And if you are a foodie, then I recommend going to go check out my Instagram and TikTok, because I talk a lot about different food scenes and different places to go here in Tulsa. So definitely go give me a follow on there. But Tulsa has a very good food scene. So if you are a vegetarian, organic, what's those other things that people do? Vegan, I don't know, whatever all those other food type that people look. We have a great scene for food. We have a lot of food trucks. We have a lot of great restaurants. And one place that I would recommend that you go check out if you're planning on visiting Tulsa is Mother Road Market. It is a food court or a food hall here in Tulsa that is all local restaurants. So they're not going to have Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and all those other, big chains or anything like that. They're all local restaurants here to Tulsa, and it's called Mother Road Market, and you get to pick what you want. So it's a great place if you have a big group of people or bringing your family that can't agree on anything like mine, and you can go check out Mother Road Market because it's great and you can taste some good food Tulsa has to offer. I hope this video was a great insight of the pros and cons of Tulsa. So if you have more questions, reach out to me. My information is down in the description below. I have my phone number, email address. Feel free to give me a call anytime. I'd love to talk to you about what are the next steps on the great adventure of you possibly moving to Tulsa. Make sure you go check out some of my other videos. And once again, thanks for watching. Steven, out.